Hey y'all, welcome back to the Blueprint Live. It's your girl MzMetchi. Thank you to everyone that's tuned in on our YouTube and Facebook pages. Shout out to our radio partners, Fluent Media Network, Philly Jams 95.3 and Indie 101.5. Tonight's show is powered by Live Long Health, Paris Ice Bar, Copajn Vodka, Fiya Infusions, and Lavish Looks by MzMetchi. Be sure to tap in with us every Thursday at 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Oh, honey, and don't forget, the MzMetchi Show comes on every Monday at 11 a.m. It's showtime.
What it do? Your favorite cousin, Young Jock, checking in. And right now, you're tuned into the Blueprint Live with my favorite, MzMetchi, all right? Hey, man, you know what it is. Keep doing what you're doing and keep it right here. Chill.
Yo, I don't know what you think you're doing, but I know what you should be doing. I'm the pride of the Eastside DJ MzTutter, and you need to tune into the Blueprint Live with MzMetchi.
Yo, what's happening in? What's happening in? Oh, it's your boy $2 Fabo, Bankhead Fabo. Oh, hey man, check this out. I want y'all to tune in right now to the Blueprint Live with MzMetchi, and I want you to tune in every Thursday at 6:30 Central Time. Ah! Oh, Fabo!
Spitting kill on tracks, I'm on a murder spree, but you ain't murdering me. I'm on the mission to cut that. I want the money that comes with it. Fuck stress on the champagne campaign. Get money and it won't change. How to make it out the streets, man. It won't change on the champagne campaign.
Y'all, I was jamming before I came on tonight, okay? Welcome back to another week of the Blueprint Live. It's your girl, MzMetchi. Oh my goodness, I've been on break. I feel like I have not, talked to y'all in a minute. So we got a lot to catch up on tonight, okay? Welcome back. Welcome back. Okay, we are here. It's Thursday. Wherever you are, we got some catching up to do, okay? Now, if you were liking that song I opened up to, that was Champagne Campaign from my friends. Okay, that was Gino Pacino, Tries Up in East London Bridges. So you all make sure that you check them out. It's streaming everywhere that you listen to your favorite songs, okay? Shout out to all of my listeners that are tuning in with me on Facebook and YouTube, and those that will later join us through our radio partners, okay? Fluent Media Network, Indie 101.5, and Jams 95.3. Let's go. If you're interested in advertising with me, I'll always remind you all of this. Make sure that you visit the bpmediaco.com. What's going on? Hi, Yvette. Hey. Thank you so much for tuning in. What's up, Auntie Tracy? I heard it's Scorpio season, right? I think. Are we there yet? Okay. I heard we got some Scorpios in the building. What's up? Hey, Bree. Got all the family in here tonight. Now, look. I've got a really, really special guest, and we are here with a purpose tonight. So I'm really, really excited for my guest. But we're gonna get into that. Y'all just hold on with me for a second now. Of course, shout out to my radio partners again, Fluent Media Network, Philly Jams 95.3 and Indie 101.5, as well as Swag Her. Okay, just you all can find the shows on their networks and on their platform. So I'm super excited about that. And if you happen to miss anything tonight, even with my special interview with my guest tonight, you all can listen to the Blueprint Live anywhere that you listen to your favorite radio shows or podcasts. Now, I'm going to remind you all of this. If you have not already, make sure that you're following MzMetchi and the Blueprint Media Company. I try to, keep you all up to date and, abreast to what's going on. So you got to make sure that you are following those pages so that we can stay connected to each other. Of course, shout out to my amazing sponsors, Live Long Health, Copajn Vodka, which, baby, for tonight's What Would You Do? Look. I got my MzMetchi show shot glass. I got my Copajn. Baby, you all are going to need it. Grab your shots. Do you hear me? Grab them. It's going down with our Copajn Vodka, our sponsor, and of course, Pretty Curvy Savage, Paris Ice Bar, and Fiya Infusions. Everyone that I mentioned tonight, or especially my special guest, I want to make sure that you all know that after tonight's show on Facebook and YouTube, everyone's going to be hyperlinked. Go and subscribe to their page on YouTube. Just hit that little bell. And then you also want to follow them on Facebook as well as their Instagram pages. This is y'all know that the following and supporting each other, that is our currency out here. So we gotta make sure that we're showing up and doing that. Okay. And of course, tonight's topic. I mean, I would be remiss if I did not talk about the LinkedIn Link Brunch. Okay, the fall edition was off the chain, on the chain, in the chain. It was the chain. Okay, we're going to be talking all about it tonight. So for anyone that was, that joined me, feel free to jump in on that conversation later on in the show. I'm going to always remind you all of this, to drop your business in the comments. If you have an event coming up, you have a page that we can follow, whatever way that we can support you, make sure that you drop that. Okay. My people support over here at the Blueprint Live. So make sure that you are dropping those links. Now, tonight, I'm really, really super excited because let me tell you this. My guest tonight, my special guest is Yolanda Carter. Okay. She is the founder of Beautifully Sacred. And I'm going to bring her on here shortly to talk about her journey of starting this particular organization and all that she does, because I tell you what, Yolanda has a hell of a story. And what better person to tell this story than Yolanda? But, we've been trying to get together. Oh my goodness. When Yolanda comes on, she can confirm it's probably been a couple years. It's probably been a couple years. But, I saw her story before I got to meet her, not only in person. And she has been connected with a lot of my business sisters. And by the grace of God, we've been able to finally connect and to find one another. And so I'm really excited to bring her on to speak about her story and to talk about her event that is happening this Saturday. Okay, so we're here, of course, with a purpose. Now, Yolanda, I just saw you, girl. Where you at? She's in our virtual backstage. Hi, Tanya. She said, good evening. We are here. What is going on? We got the ladies in the building. And yes, Auntie Tracy, it's Scorpio season. Y'all, my auntie birthday is next week. She's so excited. She's so excited about her birthday. Yeah. So Yolanda, look, if you are with me, girl, give me a thumbs up because I'm trying to see you back. Where you at? Okay, she is over here. So let's get this. Now, if you all are ready, Yolanda, give me a thumbs up if you're ready for me. You ready? Okay, we are ready to go. We about to go ahead and jump in. I want to introduce you all again to my guest. Let me just get it ready because I feel like it's been a long time coming. So I got to make sure things is right for my girl. Okay. Got to make sure. Now, I have her information here on the screen. Please, like I said, make sure that you are following her. She has an event that we're going to be talking a little bit more about tonight. And we want to be able to make sure that you all are connected with her to be able to donate and also attend. So without further ado, I bring you all tonight's special guest on the Blueprint Live, Yolanda Carter from Beautifully Sacred.
Hello, everybody. It's beautifully scarred. Beautifully scarred.
Beautifully scarred. Yeah. Yes. What did I say the wrong thing, Yolanda?
You said sacred.
Beautifully. Oh, girl. You look.
Beautifully scarred.
Yolanda, I'm so sorry.
You're beautiful.
Yes, and y'all, and you sacred too, baby. But it's beautiful. You gotta excuse me. I'm so look. Yolanda, it's been a week, girl. My bad. Look.
I know, and I hope you're doing well, girl. Thank you for the opportunity for me to be on your platform today.
Yes, no, thank you for joining me. I've been really, really excited. I was telling them before I brought you on that it's been a few years, right? That we've been trying to get together, and this was the year that we really made it happen. And I'm so excited to have you here.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here, MzMetchi. I'm so delighted to be on your platform.
I know. But look, we have to jump in. And Yolanda, I know that of course, I let them know that you have shared your story. You've been on so many different platforms talking about what it is that you do, what you've been through. But, can you share a little bit for my audience of people that might be new to Yolanda Carter?
Okay. Hey, everybody. I am Yolanda Carter, Chicago. And my favorite tagline is just Google me. Okay. Look, just Google me, baby. Okay. But so yes, I am a Chicago native, born and raised. I have I'm a mother of 5 adult children. I have 11 grandchildren, and just the mom, and just always just living life. I always loved life. So, never even imagined that my life could ever take a turn. Sometimes we put ourselves in situations which we don't know that we are really in a situation until something really happens really bad. But first I want to say that domestic violence is not just a intimate partner. It's just not just, it does not just start off physical, because a lot of times we don't identify that we are really in an abusive relationship, or we don't really identify as being a survivor, because we don't even know the signs, the cycle of what we're really going through. So, I just want to give just a little, just a little signs of what we need to really look at, because some of us may say, you know what, I didn't even know that that's what it was. So, because a lot of times when all these fancy names and all this stuff, we just want to be simple and just let you all know what it is, because verbal abuse, that's just like the tongue, it gets so sharp, and someone cutting you like a knife, and that hurts the most when they can tell you, oh my goodness, I'm gonna verbally emotional. I mean, the emotional scar is embedded because it attacks your mental. So and also just want to let you all know, it's it's not just, it doesn't just start off physical. And that's what I thought. I thought I was in a good relationship, and I thought that, oh, I'm not in no bad relationship because he's not putting his hands on me. But it starts off with the name calling. It's also verbal abuse, the isolation. They isolating you from your friends, family, and your loved ones, telling you, oh, you know what? They don't want to be bothered with you. You shouldn't, because today I had watched a movie with a young people where the guy, what he did was he groomed her, and he started gifting her flowers and giving her things, and then he met her mom, and then the mom felt like he was so charming, and then everybody falls for it, and then he started taking her
That's
phone,
when you take a turn.
making her believe that she gave him the phone, and she was in like a confused state of mind. So those are some of the tactics that they use, and we be trying to figure out, like, did I do this or didn't I do that? Oh, okay. So we just keep allowing it because for the sake of love. Okay. We also, it's jealousy. If a person is jealous of you, you will get some of that, the feedback,
the residuals.
Controlling behaviors. Someone's controlling you, telling you what to wear, how to present yourself in front of people and stuff like that. Got you basically walking on eggshells. So those are some of the things that we kind of like need to look at, because everything is not just physical. Okay.
It goes deeper than that.
I thought that my relationship that I was in, I was like, oh, I got the best man in the whole wide world. He bought, giving me all this money, anything that I need, I had it. I didn't have to worry about anything, but didn't know that I was still in an abusive relationship. But that's why we need to know those signs. We need to be educated so that we can understand that this is, the writing is always on the wall. And like I said, I was blinded. I was blindsided and all of that, because, he would just verbally abuse me and tell me, talk to my kids reckless, you're stupid, crazy, and you'll never amount to nothing, and different things. But I checked him in the door, and that's one thing I had to do, because I told him, I said, don't you ever disrespect my children, because a lot of times we are in these relationships with these men, and we allow them to disrespect our children. They try to down them and make them feel, that
a certain way.
If we cannot have our parents to have our back, who will have our backs? So that is so important to me, to make sure that we are our children's protective, because there is learned behaviors, and see what we allow. Once we allow people to hurt us, we're telling our children it's okay.
Okay.
So we have to be responsible for how we allow people to treat us and the whole dynamics, because that's something that was not even going on in my household. I never witnessed it, never seen it growing up. So I had no idea what domestic violence was. And back then in the 80s and 90s, that was something that was always shoved up under the rug. No one was ever really talking
about it openly like that, you know.
Right.
It was kind of like that thing that was going on. It was hidden, and everybody was just kind of keep it low, you know.
Yes,
they keep it low.
Absolutely. And it was not in our immediate circle. So if you're going through it, nobody would really know about it, because you would just, you know, keep it up under wraps, and you're embarrassed, you're ashamed of it. And when I first initially started going through it, it was my children's father. They were little babies. And, you know, he would pull my hair out by the roots, bust my nose, and take the kids, and wouldn't even let me be the nurturer to, you know, wouldn't even let me lay on that side of the bed to get the child when it was time for me to, you know, feed the baby. He wanted to do everything. So he took total control over my life, and I couldn't even look out the window. When we in the car, I had to look straight ahead. It was not that, because in his mind, I knew somebody in that next car. So that's why I said those are some of the things. And then I did not know that I was going to have to rehash all of that all over again years and years later, because I would always be like, why do people let people do this to them? I was that one that's saying that. And you know, I was thinking, oh,
it's easy to say it when it's not something that you've experienced, or you don't even know that you're like in the midst of it. You can be like, oh no, I wouldn't allow that. And it's like, okay, here I am. I'm in this situation right now. What do I do?
Absolutely. So, you know, as time go on, but you know, one thing I can say, all of our relationships have some type of characteristics, and all of it is some type of form of abuse, right? And the form of abuse that we look for is not really what it is, because we looking for physical, and it's not
deeper than that.
We look at right. It's the verbal abuse, and you know, them telling you that you're not good enough, or you know, you're not, you know, it's just bad stuff about you that, you know, that's not who I am, you know. And I had to defend my own honor many times, and I thought it was, you know, I just got along just to get along. You see what I'm saying? Sometimes we hurt ourselves just to keep the peace with somebody else, because we want them to say, you know what, I just want to keep the peace. I'm just going to let them do it. I remember my ex buying me a brand new car straight off the floor. I was the first time driver. But then when he would get mad at me, he would take the car away from me. He would let his family members drive the car and stuff like that. And I was like, wow, so we have to sing and dance to their music. If we don't do what they want us to do, the things that we want, it's always taken away. So that's why it's so important for us to be responsible. Just make sure that we are setting ourselves up for, you know, being successful and that stability, and you know, because your stuff can be, in a blink of an eye, your life can take a serious turn, and mine did. You know, I was just so grateful. I mean, it seemed like life was just life, and life is just good. I was a line dancer. I was doing all these great things.
Right. Look, you was in your glow, Yolanda.
Yeah, I was in my glow. I was in my glow, girl. But, you know, my life had took a serious turn in March of 2016. And I met this guy, very charming. I mean, oh my God, just like a knight in shining armor.
Right.
And you couldn't tell me that this man was not the one, you know. But, you know, when we met at a repast. And we just like, the conversation was just like, it never ended. And I was a driver. And when I tell you, this man would tell me, anytime I get lost, he'll tell me which direction, where I'm at, the location I'm at, tell me where to go, everything. So he was just that type of guy to make sure he had my front, my back, my side, and everything about just being in an amazing relationship. But then all of a sudden things just start turning.
It took that nasty turn.
Yeah, right. Because
yeah.
what we need to understand, guys, is that we live in that fairy tale situation, but then there's the honeymoon phase. That's the honeymoon phase, when we are in the honeymoon phase, and all of a sudden there's some tension start building up, but then we still try to keep it together and try to figure it out, why we are going through this and what happened. Why did we have to go to this point? And it's just like a mind game. You just trying to figure stuff out and don't even know why you have to go through that. But then after that, then that's when the explosion comes. That's when the abuse starts. Because the abuse don't just start off. It just don't start off like, okay, today
it's very gradual, and just a lot of the times when I hear about it, or just even things that have been experienced, it's a slow progression to that point where it's just like, okay, we're here now. We're here, and this is what's going on.
Right. It don't start overnight. You're right. No. It's just really, it creeps up on you. It's very subtle. And then all of a sudden the cycle starts, the abuse starts. And then we try to figure out, we make excuses for all the bad behaviors. Oh yeah, he's a really good guy. I did the same thing, And when my incident happened, and we're gonna get into that. When my incident happened, I still kind of made excuses for maybe he didn't think it was me. Maybe he was, in a trance, or I was trying to rationalize it myself, trying to make it seem like I didn't really understand, because I'm telling you, in the mornings, I'm his good morning star, good morning sunshine, hey boo boo kitty. I was all of that, but there was a dark side that I seen, but I ignored, if it makes any sense. I turned a blind eye to it because it was not physical. And that's what I was looking for. I was looking for a physical. I was looking for the person hitting me, punching me, stuff like that, but he never did that. So I'm like, I still got the best man in the whole wide world. I go places, he come down, park the car. If in the snow time, make my path just as smooth. I could just walk and get in my car warmed up. If anything wrong with the car, he was the jack of all trades and the master of none. So anything that I needed done, he was that person.
That's right.
And I was like, wow, okay, so now
like this.
Right. And so after years of things had started, I kind of started paying attention to things that I noticed that was kind of strange. And he was a drinker, he was that, but then come to find out, in the end of after everything transpired, I found out that he was using drugs. And I didn't know, because it was questionable before, because I knew that he had me on his joint account. And, I started watching the money dwindling away. When he would get paid, he would take my car. He was like, I'm going to Indiana and I'm going to, fill the car up. And, he did that. But it was like, man, the money is saying that Chase Bank. But he telling me, I went to the casino, not thinking that. Wasn't thinking that. I can watch right here from my
like I'm looking at all of it. Yeah, you're not being truthful.
Right. And I could have took all the money out, but I was like, no, that's his money. As long as we can pay these bills, it's all that's good to me. So, as time goes on, then he started, one day he threw my phone down the alley. I was on the phone with my ex, because let me go and let me explain this.
Because I got some more. We got some things we gotta. I definitely want to ask you as far as just with your story and everything. So yes, share with us.
Yes, I was still with somebody else. We were still living in the same house, and he knew this, but it was like everything was going sour. So we was on the verge of leaving each other anyway.
Yeah,
he was still the man in the house, and he was still calling me on his breaks every time, and he was responsible for paying paying my phone bill and everything. So he ended up when I answered the call, and he was like, "Can I see your phone?" And I'm thinking he's gonna use my phone. This man threw my phone down the alley. Oh my God. I was like, oh my God. How am I going to
Like, why would you do something like that? That's horrible.
Right. I was like, how am I going to explain? But guess what? Every time he did something crazy, you know what he did?
Made up. Yep. He like, I'm gonna cash it out. I'm gonna
compensate. He compensate for all the bad things that he would do. He threw alcohol on me. We was at a party. I was ready to go home. It was already 2:00 in the morning. And I was like, hey, I gotta go home. He was still, no, you don't need to go home. I'm like, I gotta go. He threw alcohol on me. So then guess what? He said, hey, you know how much is it gonna be for your clothes to go in the dry and then you get your hair done? And then he did that. I mean, it was just something repeated over and over again, locking me out of my bedroom door. And then it was times when I put him out. But in my mind, I'm just laughing like, because you know you can't put somebody out when they're in the house. So I will wait till he go to work. Oh my God. When I wait for him to go to work, that's when he would call and be on trying to get it. And I said, you ain't coming here. So you better find somewhere else to go. So, you know, after repeating, I mean, it was just up and down, up and down.
Yeah, it's not like it was like a cycle and it was just like, okay, he does something bad, make up for it, y'all get back good. He does something, you know, it just seems like a loop that,
absolutely,
you know, I think that anyone could get stuck in, you know, if you're not seeing or even understanding, okay, like I'm in danger at this point.
Absolutely. And I still didn't think, because I didn't think I was even had to be afraid of him. I wasn't afraid of him. You know, but I still, you know, I put him out and then I let him come back. I put him out like a total of 4 times. And then with that one, I was like, okay, I'm just like done over it. I got tired.
Yeah, like when was like that moment for you where it was just like, okay, like we've been down this road, we've done this. I can't, you know, I don't want to continue to move forward with this. When was that moment for you, Yolanda?
The moment was one of my girlfriends told me, she said, Yolanda, be careful. The Holy Spirit told me that man is going to do something to you. And I'm like, girl, he ain't going to do nothing to me. That man loved me. He's not going to do anything to me. And then I can remember my baby telling me, he's like, Mama, you need to put him out. And then after that, that's when everything happened. So after that, I was just repeating, and I kept, I'm a very compassionate person. I love people, and I give you.
You do, Yolanda. You're so loving. You're just such a loving person. Like, I mean, since day one, like I knew you was like that when we was bumping to each other online, but when I saw you, just your energy and your spirit speaks for itself. So I was just so saddened to like hear about some of the things that you have been through, because I'm like, why her? I'm like, what is going on with it? Like I don't understand that.
Yeah, so as time went on, I was just like at the point where, you know what, I'm tired. I want to just end this, but I just didn't know how, because I was so worried about his feelings. I was so worried about how he's gonna feel and hurting him. So I just could never just say, pack your stuff up and leave. I just could not do that because like I said, I'm very compassionate and I'm hurt for other people. I don't know, it's like a sense of when somebody close to me going through it, I feel their pain. So
you're an empath. You're empathetic.
Yes, and I'm hurt for people, and I was like, okay, well, so let's go into that year, because we had did my dad's birthday and everything. That was February. So here go March. We stepping into March, right?
Okay.
So March started off really good. I was just like doing Yolanda, going outside, line dancing, doing me and everything. But then it was just something that it was like still a normal thing. Before all this happened, we didn't even have an argument. And it was March 19th. Everybody was getting ready to go to work. He was going to work and I was about to go to work, and I was going to take my son to school. This was a Friday, but he didn't even ask me to take him to work. So I'm like, okay, so maybe, hey, and I ain't gonna offer, so that's a trip that I ain't got to do, because I can just go straight to work, right? And I just end up going to work. But when it was time to come back, he never came back. I came back, me and my son, but he never came back. So that was Friday, he never came back. Friday, Saturday, he never came back. And then Sunday, I started getting to the point where I was like, I don't care, whatever, you stay, whatever you gonna be at.
Yeah, like you come back. If you don't, you don't. It is what it is.
I didn't care. I really didn't care no more. So I was like, okay, well, let me go ahead and get myself together. So he started calling my phone, getting very hostile and belligerent. And I just hang up the phone and I just didn't even answer no more.
Are you like, I'm not about to entertain this foolishness?
Absolutely. So the next day I end up getting a call from him, and he called me, and he was asking me, oh, are you at home? And I'm like, no, I'm not at home. I got to get my son, because he knew what time I was getting my son from school.
Yeah.
I picked him up, and when I dropped my son off, my son told me, he's like, Mama, he's seen you when you dropped me off. I did not even know. And I just end up going to go get us something to eat, me and my baby, something to eat.
Yeah.
And once I went to go get something to eat, I started getting calls again. Are you at home? I'm like, no, I'm not at home. So I end up going to get the food, and then I came back. But the Holy Spirit, I'm telling you, the Holy Spirit told me to park my car around the corner. So I'm parking my car around the corner. Don't know why I'm parking my car around the corner. So I got out, I started walking, because y'all know how Hyde Park is. You got blocks and stuff. So I was walking.
Look, you was parked about 3-4 blocks away. You know how it is out there.
Yeah, and then I just started walking, and then I came up on like the alley, because my building, my doorway was like close to. It was not an alley that you drive through. It was an alley that you can just go to, where the back you can go up the stairs and stuff. It wasn't that type of alley. So I just ended up walking. But when I got that far, he startled me, and I froze because he came out, and I was like, oh my God.
Right,
So,
like, what are you doing here?
Right. I didn't know he was there. So I think he kind of got pissed off, because he was ringing the doorbell and he knew my baby was in the house. And I did think that kind of pissed him off. So he started telling me, because he didn't have any keys to my house. And he started telling me, well, the doctor said I'm stressed out. So what instantly came to mind was that, is this man going to try to do something to me and say that he's mentally unstable and he can get away with it? So I'm like, okay, well, but I still wasn't afraid of him. I still was not afraid of him at all.
Right.
So we got upstairs. I remember getting upstairs. I remember sitting at the table with him, and he asked me, he said, can I take a shower? And that was kind of strange. Like, why are you asking me, can you take a shower? And the thing I said, you know what I said? I said, no, you can't take no shower. Why would you ask me that? So I was like, no, go on, get your shower, get yourself together. Like I'm talking to a kid.
Right, like, look, gather thyself, okay?
Right. Like I'm talking to a child. So I'm like, okay. So he go get his stuff together. And then, I don't know, time passed. But my baby was like, Mama, he asked you for the key card, because, in those buildings, you got to use a key card to go wash your clothes and all that stuff. So I gave him that, I believe. And then after that, it was just me in the living room, watching my feet up, and, and just be doing Yolanda. Okay. So it was like about 10 o'clock that night, I ended up going in the room, and he was sound asleep. So as I went in, and I went back in the living room, and after that, I knew I was going to have to go to bed about 12 o'clock. So I came out and stayed back in the living room, on my phone. It wasn't even no TikTok then. It was just Facebook then. So I was talking to people on Facebook or whatever. So it was time for me to get ready to go to bed. I went to bed. I did go to bed, but I did not wake up the same way I went to sleep. So that part was very, very hard for me. Yeah. I went to bed and I went to sleep, and to be shooken by the paramedics, the fire department, police, and I'm bleeding out of my nose and my mouth, and brain matters in the bed, and I was listening in my head, hearing your snoring. It was just like something demonic, like it was ringing in my head. Like I didn't know what was going on. The next thing that I know that I was out, and I'm listening to my baby, and I'm telling them, like, oh my God, I'm hearing faint sounds and trying to figure out what happened. I'm looking in my bed, and I'm looking like, what happened to me? And that's when my baby was like, Mama, he beat you with a hammer. And I'm like, why would he do something like that? And people was like, the fire department was like, I just told him, I said, don't let me die. Just don't let me die.
Right. Oh my God.
And they said, you're not going to die. You're talking. We're going to get you some help. And I trusted them. I believed them. And I said, I just don't want to die. And they said, we're going to get you some help. So I got to the hospital.
Lord.
And when I got to the hospital, they said, ma'am, you are in too bad of a shape. There's nothing we can do for you here. So they laid me there. I stayed in that hospital, laid on that gurney for like 3 hours before they even transported me to the trauma center. And my daughter ended up coming. And my daughter was like, she asked her husband, she was like, is it bad? And he was the type of person, no, it ain't that bad or whatever.
Yeah.
Came out. He was like, it's bad. And she said, sorry, she came in there and was like, Ma, are you okay? And, you know, they didn't clean me up or nothing. They had this cup over my eye. And she was like, why don't y'all just clean up? They said, no, we can't because it's a crime scene.
Oh my God.
About time they were still trying to work on my eye to see if it's any sight, any light or anything. And every time they would come back, I was like, I can't see.
Yeah.
And they kept asking, I mean, they just wanted to exhaust all areas before they just decide that they was going to give the decision to my daughter to make that decision. So they was like, yes, there's no sight. But he told me before I was transported out, they told me the good thing. They said, ma'am, there's no brain damage.
Yeah.
And I cried because I said, God is so good. And they told me, ma'am, people don't survive this. These are injuries that you have. All your cranium, everything is crushed, and all your facial bones are broken and shattered. My teeth were so unstable, everything was broken. They had to put braces on my teeth to rebuild the bones back.
Yeah.
But I thank God every day that he gave me my life back, because the doctors even tell me, even after the surgeries, they was like, ma'am, we don't even know somebody was praying for you, because people don't even survive what you've gone through.
Yeah.
And I said, you know what? First, God waking my son up, coming to my rescue. The damage was done. But every night I would go to bed, my Bible was open. So I can't even tell you what a hammer even felt like.
Yeah.
And I felt like, man, I was chosen. God gave me my life back and allowed me to be a voice. I didn't know what the purpose was. I didn't never know. I thought my purpose was every day getting up, being a mom, doing regular things.
Just your day-to-day.
Living life, thinking that that's what my purpose was. But no, God had something greater for me. My voice elevates it to help and save lives. And I didn't know why this was happening to me, who I was saving. You know, people was like, oh, this didn't happen to you for you. It's for somebody else. And I'm like, well, who was it for?
Right. Like I need to meet them because this is hard. You know, like this is a lot. And you know, Yolanda, having gone through something, you know, oh my goodness, like first off, my heart goes out to you, and I'm so sorry that was what you experienced at the hands of that person. And you know, I know for me, like when I go through things, I typically kind of draw a little bit more inward, right? You know, I'm keeping it inside. But Yolanda, what was that moment like for you, as far as after you went through that? And naturally there's a healing process, and you're like, okay, not only do I want to tell my story, but I also want to help other people so that they don't have to deal with this. Like what did that look like for you, or what was kind of going on at that time?
Okay, so what happened was I still didn't know. I was still trying to process everything that was going on. I didn't have any clue about what my life was going to look like. I was just laying in that bed and I was just listening to God. And I just remember God telling me everything that's going to happen for you is going to come to you. You're not going to have to come to ask for it. And I just like, man, and after I get out the hospital, I went through a stage of, I didn't even cry. I didn't have no emotions because I was just still trying to process everything. Like, when is my normal gonna come back? When I'm gonna be able to do the things that I want to do? Like, get back to my normal. But then when I go to the doctor and they let me see a therapist, I sit on the couch. Y'all know them couches that you sit with the therapist. And this therapist was talking to me, and every time he would talk to me, I would break down and I would cry. I couldn't even I was just a whole mess. And I just couldn't get it together. So this is what happened. What the light switch came on and my life had turned around. So I was invited because I went to my old job. I used to work at Envision Unlimited, and I had guys, all the guys with disability, and I went to the workshop to see the guys after everything happened, and I had this gauze on my eye, and all this stuff, but I was still trying to live my life the normal way, as I know how. So I was invited to an event at the church, Grace Memorial Church over East, which is my kid's cousin's church. And they was talking about, they had domestic violence. They had an event with domestic violence. So lady wanted me to share my story. So I'm like, I never shared my story before on a platform or nothing like that. So I shared my story. It was, outpouring of love and support. And it was
I need you to know I'm over here like holding it back. I'm like, we're gonna be strong tonight. I'm gonna be strong for my sis. But I mean, Yolanda, I had no idea.
It was one young lady that was in the audience, and once I told my story, she embraced me, and she worked for Metropolitan Family Services, and she was like, I need you. I'm gonna get you some services. I'm gonna set you up. She set me up. She set me up for greatness.
Yes.
She got me, intake. I mean, she basically held my hand to do everything.
Yeah.
And I didn't know what to expect because I never had to go into that and talk to nobody else about what happened to me. Other women that went through something, but it was other women. We was in group. That was the first time I was in it. But after that, I was just totally just me and the therapist. But then I was in therapy, and it was an extensive therapy because the therapy, they said that my trauma was so bad. They said that what happened to me, it was like, man, yours took the cake. It's a lot of women that go through stuff, but yours was like really bad. I ended up staying in therapy for 4 years instead of 2. And then after that, I had surgery from 2016 to 2022. November was my last surgery. And then when I would go to court, I was going to court, and then the WGN News would go with me because this man was, he was firing his lawyers. He was going through so many changes, and I was being so traumatized going to court. When I tell you I had an amazing support system with the court system, it was a great experience. I know some people don't have good experiences, but I don't know. God,
you had a good experience.
He put these people aligned for me. It was like, man, Yolanda, but I knew that after going through that, I knew that I never want no one to live my reality. After learning that it was not my fault, I was learning that I knew that hurt people hurts people. And you didn't do anything, and I was still trying to figure out what was it that I did wrong.
Yeah.
What did I do to make him get a hammer? You go get a hammer, not just a stick or not just a fist. You went and got a hammer.
Right.
And that was so hard for me because I know that I don't deserve none of that.
Not at all.
But I knew that I don't want no one to live the reality that I've lived. So I started saying, you know what? My girl called me, and she was like, hey, you have an amazing story, Yolanda. And my story is like a stump on the toe. I was talking to WGN, and I told them about your story, and they wanted to know if you will share your story. And I said, sure.
Yeah. And that was how, that was how I first I started to like see you, around as far as when that particular, when you went on, and this was a few years ago, but I was just like, oh my goodness. And I think we've been connected ever since. And I just, Yolanda, I want to give you a big old hug. I'm sending you big hugs. I'm sending you a lot of hugs because Yolanda, I couldn't imagine, but it's, you are really doing the Lord's work. And y'all know over here at the Blueprint Live, we praise the Lord, so don't get uncomfortable. But
Amen.
You started, your organization so that you can help people to not have to, go through that, or to be able to recognize the signs, and or just that they're even in a dangerous situation to begin with. Yes. So can we talk a little bit, because I know we got to talk about Saturday, but can we talk a little bit about your organization and just how you are helping people that are maybe in the situation already, or just kind of helping them navigate, what they need to do?
Okay, yes, I can, because normally, in the beginning, when I started the nonprofit organization, I really sat on it for like maybe 2 years because I didn't know the meat and the potatoes. I didn't know really how to navigate through the process of getting things. I mean, we would talk to people and we would try to figure it out, but we still wasn't able to figure it out. But I kept sitting on subcommittees with the 6th district, the 5th district, and then I navigated. I don't even know how I ended up on the west side, the 15th district, and then
it's Chicago.
Yes, but I love my team. I love my I love my subcommittees. I mean, oh my God, I said, you know what? Because I moved downtown, so I was like, okay, that's closer than just coming back to the south.
Come on downtown.
So it was easy to go, and I love them and everything. So just partnering with other organizations, and then people, the platforms that I've been on, and people done found me on Windy City Live, on a lot of platforms. They was like, they reach out, inbox me, be like, I didn't think you was gonna call me. You was gonna, you a celebrity, you this and you are that, you're famous. And I'm like, those titles don't mean nothing with you.
Right. Like that look like we locking in. It don't matter what's going on.
Right. So I found out, there were women that will call me because I was giving my number out with no problem, because I know that from the hours of 9 and 5, you can't reach no one when you're in distress. So I made myself available to just listen, to talk to them and let them know that it's not easy. What I've been through, and I know that if I've been through what I've been through, everybody is not the same. Their healing process is different. Everybody has a lifelong journey of healing, but you do have
they may not even have the support. They might not have the support as well. So that makes it like an added layer.
Absolutely. So I went to this place. I just got on this bus one day, and I was going to Springfield, and I went with this organization called Crime Survivors Speak. It's called Crime Survivors Speak right now, but it's formerly known as Crime Survivors Safety and Justice. Okay. And when I got on that bus, and when I went to the Capitol, I seen so many people, all their loved ones, that they had their pictures, and I only had my book with my photo, with all the graphic, what they showed on the news and everything. And you know what? Somebody captured that picture, because when we just went to Atlanta, my sister, she took a photo of it and sent it to me. I'm like, oh my God, I didn't even know they was even paying attention to me. But then at that time, they wasn't having domestic violence part. That part, it was only gun violence, human trafficking, sexual assault. But domestic violence was not even in there. But I was a crime survivor, so they welcomed me to come. So I was like, so when I got there, I was like, so where do I fit in at?
Yeah, like what are we doing here?
So I guess because of my story and being so powerful, they felt like we got to add this domestic violence part to it. So that's when
come on now, Trailblazer. You did. You opened up a whole new lane for
That's what the national director told me. And when he did, the next time I went, he had me to light the candle for all the domestic violence survivors all over the world. And that just, oh my God, that was so good to me. And then guess what? The next time I went and I did a press conference, and I was like, oh my God.
Come on now, Yolanda. Okay. We really do got some celebrities up in here. What's going on?
And it was just like every year. I mean, you know, they love me. I want to make sure that I bring everybody, because I'm not a gatekeeper. That's one thing I'm not. I want to bring everybody, because I shouldn't be the only one out here. I want my people to come out. I want all of you all, whoever needs support, I am there. Even if I don't have the support, if my organization is not equipped for it right now, but we will be. Trust and believe we are going to have that brick and mortar. But right now, I can connect you to the right proper people, because I'm partnering with these people, with these organizations, and mentorship and counseling and stuff like that. So that's what we do. We are a survivor to survivor organization where we go, me and our board members, we go out and we do, you know, community services, and if we partner with other organizations, and we do the work out here. It may not seem to it, like sometimes I'll be like, am I doing anything? Am I doing enough? But I must be doing a lot, because I'm being honored by Cook County commissioners and Tony Freckwinkles and the state's attorney's offices, and the list.
You doing the work, Yolanda? Wait a minute. You doing the work now? Like the work has been being done. You know, and I'm really excited, because I know tonight, and I'm like I said, I'm so thankful that you shared your story and just given that background, because you have an event that's coming up on Saturday that's also going towards the effort. So I've been sharing it up with my audience.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Of course. So can for anyone that may want to kind of like join us on Saturday, or if they're able to kind of help, can you just let us know like what we can look forward to, and just what are the ways that they can support? Because I got people that's not just in the Chicagoland area. They might be able to send a little bit of coinage from wherever they are.
We need them coins.
We need them coins to help the people. So let us know
how you can support Beautifully Scarred. You can go to the website, and it is beautifullyscarred.com. That's the letter A, beautifullyscarred.com. And it has everything. It tells you how you can donate to the cause, how you can connect, and what you need to do. We also have QR codes and stuff like that, where we're going to have on site for people to donate and stuff. Yep, beautifullyscarred.com. That's it. So yes, that's the website. And we also need your support. We need different, the clothing for the children, and like gently used or whatever, new use, whatever. We want to give coats, and we want to make sure every kid, we get the candy that we want to give out, and because there's so many children. Happy Halloween. Boo, it's boo bingo. And then we got our seniors and our people that like bingo. It's going to be a breakfast, so y'all come with y'all bellies, and it's $7 for the adults and $4 for the children. So
Yolanda,
it's a fundraiser.
We're gonna tell them 10. We're gonna tell them 10. Y'all gotta come with the full 10. Don't be taking the singles back. Y'all gonna tip.
It's
Beautiful cards on Saturday. We need the full 10.
That's right. So yes, Beautifully Scarred is we are doing it. We are it's gonna be Beautifully Scarred is gonna be something that coming out of rolling off people's tongues. You all know that organization. Yes, that's Beautifully Scarred.
Look. Well, I messed it up early, because I was like, and then
I was like, Beautifully Scarred. Because
you please turn it to my head and not my heart, because I've been looking at it all week, and I was like this, and I still got on here, and like muscle work was like this. Scarred. No, yeah, I'm excited for Saturday to come and support you and your friends and your team. You all came to definitely support me. So whatever we can do to garner the support and to help other, women and children in need. Now, one thing I did want to ask you, Yolanda, Do you also help men that are in domestic?
Oh, absolutely, yes. You know, the organization, we have men, women, and children. It is an organization for men, women, and children. And you know, because you know, there it's underreported with the men, so it's not reported the way that it should. So it's like nobody really talk about it. But yes, Beautifully Scarred is a nonprofit organization that does support men, women, and children. Yes, but we are Saturday morning. It is a breakfast, guys. So y'all come with y'all. Yes, come on.
What's up? We got Polite Teddy in the building. She said, "Come have breakfast with us."
That's right. Come have breakfast.
I need my little pancakes and a little OJ. But you know, Yolanda, I first off, I just want to tell you, I think that you are, like I said earlier, just absolutely your energy. You're just the beacon of light. And I thank you for coming to share your story. And I mean, you know, I can only imagine that it's probably very challenging sometimes to go back down that particular road. But you sharing your story, my auntie who is on the live with us tonight, she always says like your story could be someone else's treasure. And you know, although you've been through so much, you've had to overcome so much, you sharing your story is going to help somebody. And
yes,
you know,
absolutely. And I'm grateful, you know, and you know what's the flip side, the downside about it is that sometimes people see you as being so strong all the time. And nobody really get a chance to say, hey, how are you, Yolanda? You know, I see you out here doing this. I see you out here doing this. You on all these platforms, you doing this and doing that. But nobody sees behind the scenes what I really go through. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, I was going through the fact that my face being disfigured. I got to the hospital. I had the best plastic surgeons. And when I got there, I cried because I asked them, I said, can you all fix me back? And they said, well, let's give us some pictures of what you used to look like, and we will do our best. And, you know, that just stuck with me because I mean, they was honest. They was honest. And they didn't say, well, yeah, we can fix you back, or no, we can't. They just said that we will do our best. So after all the surgeries and after all those surgeries, I started looking like something. I was like, okay, I'm coming back.
Because the face card never declined.
I mean, transformation is something else, girl. If I could show you photos of the transformation, you'd be like, whoa, you look. I don't look like what I've been through.
They don't even know.
I can't smell, I can't taste, but I'm still here. And the thing about it, I have a metal plate in my skull. And I thought maybe because, you know, because all the metal, a face full of metal, all that, I was like, maybe I can't smell and taste nothing. Maybe when they take all that stuff, I'll remove some of it out because it has set up infection. So they had to start removing a lot of it. And, you know, then when they, you know, they had to take my eye out. So if the prosthetic eye, I don't wear it because it hurt. So it's a plastic piece that I hold because if I take it out, my face will droop down. So it's like a spacer and it holds it open a little bit. So it kind of lift. But I was just the other day, and I'm gonna share this with everybody because a lot of times, you know, we have those days when we feel unpretty. We feel like that we're ugly and stuff like that. So I was feeling, you know, I felt like, oh, I'm pretty to me. But then again, when I took this eye patch out and I take a photo, so I try to take photos so it can look like, you know, this part won't make it look, my face is deformed. So I took a picture and I sent it to my significant other, my boo thing.
Okay.
And I told him, I said, I'm so ugly. I said, my face look ugly. And you know what he told me? He said, baby, you are beautiful. He said, that's not ugly. And it just brought tears to my eyes because he always remind me. He said, I don't care what you look like. He said, it's not what you look like. It's what's in here. He said, it's not about this. It's not about this. It's about what's here. And I'm like, wow, God allow me to, you know, bless me with somebody in my life that really, truly love and respect me, because there are so many people out here, they in a relationship, but these people don't respect you. I'd rather for you to tell me you respect me than you say you love me.
Love me, right.
So that just, well, like, people don't really know what I go through. You know, I could take off my stuff and then look like, man, I don't look good to me. So I kind of like want to enhance and put on a little extra something, do something different to, you know, kind of make it look good.
Yeah.
But,
well, Yolanda, look, but you are beautiful, and look, like I said earlier, the face card never declined, honey. So
thank you.
you are all good, and I just, I know that we're gearing up for Saturday, but before you leave me tonight, can you just let everybody know where they can follow you, and then also just run that back one more time of how they can donate in case they're out of state or they're not able to join us on Saturday.
Okay, so first you all can donate to beautifully-scarred.com, and that will send you over to the website, and the website will have different levels of who we are and everything about Beautifully Scarred, and also how you can donate to the cause. Okay, and you can reach me on all social media outlets, which is Beautifully Scarred. That's the nonprofit organization. Also, Yolanda Carter Cake Mix on the end. You know, that's my hey days. You know,
That's
don't
the original. I was like this. I was like,
don't judge me. Look, it wasn't.
I'm not, it's no judgment for me. Okay, I'm like, come on now, let me tag her.
Look, it wasn't cake mix. It was like, cake mix. Now you already know.
You are so spicy. But Yolanda, I'm looking for, I'm very, very thankful that after, these years that we've been able to finally get together. Yes. But, I'm just excited to continue to support you as you are supporting, other people. We want to be able to help anybody that we can. And what you've gone through, your testimony, it means something, and we're going to continue to keep making some noise. So I'm so thankful that you took some time out with me, because I know it's busy. You know how it is, event week, girl.
Girl, have you been seeing me? Have you been seeing my social media? I'm like,
you've been on the move, and I'm so proud of you.
My month have been so busy. My doggone room is so destroyed because I gotta find purple, gotta find something. I'm like, one day we're gonna have to have a party, so y'all can come over here and help me get my stuff back together.
Yeah, we gonna have a fix that house party. Okay,
that's right.
We're gonna do. Well, Yolanda, thank you again for joining me, and don't be a stranger. You come back and see me next time.
You already know I love you. Thank y'all for showing up. I love all of you all. Good night.
Look. Good night. Bye. Bye, Yolanda.
Bye.
Good night. See you Saturday.
Yes. Looking forward to it. Bye-bye.
Me too. Oh my goodness. I told you all that we were going to be in for a treat talking with Yolanda Carter. When I tell you, my heart is full. And I hope that you all will join us on Saturday. Come out and come and support. She is doing the work. We want to help people get on the other side of things, okay? I have to take a really quick break, but when I come back, we're hopping into tonight's Hate It and Love It. You don't want to miss this. I got a lot to say.
Hey, are you struggling with weight loss? Try everything and the scale hasn't moved for you? Well, I think it's time for you to call our good friends over at Live Long Health. They have everything that you need to help with weight loss management. And they also offer a plethora of other services. So make sure that you go ahead and head to livelonghealth.net, okay? Or call 708-998-5542, okay? And guess what? The best thing is you can treat yourself now and pay later. They accept several different payment types. And baby, it's time for you to go ahead and make that move to get healthy. So choose to live long with Live Long Health.
Are you in need of a mobile bartender for your next event? Contact Paris Ice Bar today. From crafted cocktails, tapas and hookah, Paris Ice Bar has you covered. Visit ibringhappyhour.com or call 407-707-8202.
All right, y'all. It's time for Hate It and Love It. Let's get into it.
All right, give it up for our sponsor. Shout out to Live Long Health as well as Paris Ice Bar. Okay, Diamond was actually here on the live. I don't know if she's still here. If you're here, girl, say hey. But if not, you all make sure that you all are following them. Again, after tonight's broadcast, everything will be hyperlinked so that you all can go ahead and join in. And of course, if you are new to the Blueprint Live tonight, you are joining us from Yolanda Carter's interview. Please make sure that you drop your business. Let me know how I can support you, how my people can support you all. We are here for it. It's time to switch gears. We're going to talk a little sugar honey iced tea tonight. I'm off the cutty. I got the cutty. I got my Copajn for the what would you do? It's lit. Let me go on to the first thing. All right, let's go. So first off, let's start off on a high note before we get into the hate of this, because the last couple weeks your girl was floating. I was feeling real good. I didn't have too many haters. Hold on, let me hit it with the auntie sponge real quick. All right. The brunch was off the chain, and we're going to be talking about that very, briefly for the topic of the night, but, in our recap. But I am so thankful. The second one was off the chain. Shout out to Bree and her team. Shout out to Polite and Petty and Yolanda. They were all there with me as well. And everyone that attended. Y'all, it was off the chain. It was off the chain. To me, it was better than the first one, because the first one I was running around like a chicken with my head cut off. And this time, it was great. And I will say this, it is very, very much so. Get help when you are doing big things. Get people, get a team, get some help. I was able to enjoy myself. So Bree, thank you for everything. I love you. We'll be talking about that later on, and just everyone that came out to help me just bring that vision to life. It's hard when you got something in here and then you got to make it happen out there. So I am just extremely grateful. So that's the love it. That is the love it. The link to lit was off the chain. It was lit. And the next one, I've already set the date. I'll be releasing that soon, but I'm super excited about it. We had a ball up in that time, baby. The brunch was phenomenal. I'm so glad she was there. I'm looking forward to doing some different activations with the ladies. Brunch was the hit. Come on, Robbie. Yes, off the meat ranks. Okay, I love you too, Bree. I tell you what, Bree. I'll share this quick story, and not to go too much into it, but Bree was at the first. She was at the first LinkedIn Lit brunch, and bless her heart, she was like, do you need help? Do you need help? And I was just so stuck on I don't want any of my guests to have to do anything. So I was, just running around. And we genuinely talked after that. And she's just like, let me work with you. This is what I do. This is what we do. And it's very hard, because I'll tell you all this, look, y'all, I have been burned in business. I have tried to delegate, or I've tried to hand off things, and it ends up right back on my plate. But I'll say this about Bree, and I'll say this about everyone that is attached to her. They are real. And I know that if you all are anything like me and you've been through some things, you will be a little guarded. Sometimes we come from a jaded place. We don't trust like that. It'd be hard to let people in. But with Bree, and everyone, that was there, that was with her. I am very, very thankful that God still allows my heart to be open, and that he allowed me to be able to say, hey, look, this is your tribe too. You know what I'm saying? So I'm very, very, very thankful. Yes. Kim said Bree was phenomenal. Absolutely. Everybody, y'all, if y'all didn't know who Bree was, okay, she is the one. And we got each other. I got you too, Bree. So I love you guys. That's my love it. Now, can we switch gears a little bit? Okay, let's go. Hold on. Let me take a sip of the cutty. I've had a couple situations that have happened over the last couple weeks that, let's just call it what it is. Let's go ahead and call it out. Annoyed the heck out of me. So the first instance was this. Naturally I meet people all the time. There's constant networking and different things. And I have people even that I've known from back in the day, from college, high school, whatever, that will reconnect with we reconnected with each other. And, we're, building. Okay. We're building. So there was one instance in particular, and y'all know I try not to call nobody out. So we got to talk about the situation. Just let's pull out the elements here. But I hated it this week. is people that don't know a thing about you. They don't know nothing about you. And then they try to psychoanalyze you based off of their own thoughts and whatever it is that they have going on. So the situation that I had, she said, we'll say it again. Yes, Auntie. So the situation that I had, essentially, this person had been giving a string of different compliments. And, I'm very polite, I'm very gracious. And look, this is the thing. MzMetchi loves to be adored. But this particular person was just like, it seems like that you have a problem accepting compliments. And I'm just like, whoa. Not MzMetchi. I love to be adored, honey. Because I'm going to adore you and I love to be adored. So I'm just like this. What the hell are you talking about? What are you talking about? Get off my line with this. Don't try to psychoanalyze people that you don't know like that. Baby, it's only, you got to have a VIP bracelet to get over here into my world. In the same, I got VIP bracelets for all my people too. But don't come over here projecting your own insecurities or whatever it is that you have going on into my life. Because let me tell you what, it ain't nothing but love, success, and growth over here. And a compliment, ain't never been scared of it. Shy, will never be. What? Kim, tell them again. Weirdos. What are you talking about? Like, what are you don't come in my world trying to say or trying to put your own insecurities or projections onto me. I love me over here. I love me. Got mad love for me. Okay, stop it. Lauren said the shenanigans. It was too much. Anthony, my husband, you are messy, and I'm not getting messy with you tonight. Not tonight. Okay, we're not doing that. Okay, remember, we're going to talk about it. We're not going to do it. Bree said, have several seats. Y'all get on my nerves. Absolutely. You just can't judge anybody. Yeah, and it's like, don't come to me with your psycho babbo. Like, you please, like, don't come trying to psychoanalyze anything that's going on over here or whatever the case is, and you have a basic bachelor's like how I do. Please stop. Clock that. Please. And Kim, don't be messy with Anthony. Do not. Okay? So that was the first off. Now, okay, we're not going to go into too much about the brunch, but I will say this. Planning the brunch this time, my husband messy like me. I be having him watching too much Housewives and stuff. But this time planning the brunch, I felt like that God put me in a position where I was able to see a lot. And what was a common thing for me that I did notice, and it's something that, and it'd be hard when you come to these realizations because you'd be like this, nothing will ever be the same. But this brunch taught me that I have a lot of people in my life, in my world, and in my orbit that I go above and beyond for, and they wouldn't even cross the street for me. Come on now, because let me get a little sip of the cutty off that one. Hold on. I recognize that I just, I have a lot of people that are, or some people that are around and they reap a lot of the benefits, but when it's time to show and prove, they're rarely able to rise to the occasion. And that's the hated it for me, because the hated it is this. I have so much love, so many resources, so many things that I want to give, right? And I can give them freely. It cost me nothing to love on my people, to support my people, to show up for my people, right? But when you can't like, share, or comment, right? When I'm seeing the fact that, and let's go ahead again, without calling out names, but let's call out the specific situation. Promote the hell out of what you got going on, but when it's my turn, you get silent. Oh, can we clock it? Right? You take pictures and you do different things where you just like this, head it out. But you never say where you going to. You don't do that. You don't support for real. But time you need something and you need some support or you need a resource from MzMetchi, I'm your first call. But you can't support, or you got friends, you got family and all of these other different people, and you could post that you're out with them, but you don't want to let nobody know that you rocking with me. Understand this. The hate of it is that a lot of people have revealed themselves in this season, and it was hard. It was hard to see it. It was hard to know and understand. These folks don't rock with me for real. Not 100%. That's hard. But the love it that I will close out with is that clarity is everything. So I want to thank those exact same people, the exact same people that's part of the hated it, that y'all did some BS this time around. Because let me look in the camera. You did some BS this particular time around and you thought you wasn't clocked. Thank you for revealing yourself. Because, baby, we in the midst of fourth quarter. Do you hear me? We are in the midst of fourth quarter. It's about to wrap up. It's going to be November next week. And I'm going to put this comment up because where is it? Kim said it. Everybody can't go. Understand that if you showed your ass this year, everybody can go. Everybody can go. And if you acted a goddamn on fool this time, you'll never get a chance to act a fool. Not in my arena. You can take that to Allstate Arena. You could take it to the United Center. You could take it to the Win Trust, but not in the arena for the Blueprint for MzMetchi, the MzMetchi Show, or any of its affiliates. Not this, not for the rest of this year, and not for next year. If you have revealed yourself and you a hater, oh, come on now, you a hater. Or you mad, you don't want to see, you're okay as long as we at the same level. But if you feel like it's any level of progression, then your hateration and moderation turn on, everybody can't go. And the love and the benefits and the amenities and the things that you were able to receive as a result of the love that God gave me, I got to cut it off. And that's discernment. I'll leave it there. Let me go ahead and, do that. Just said they become blind. Oh, baby, when I tell you, I already know, because y'all know the way that I promote and the way that I do things. I know I pop up on some people's timelines and they sick of me. Prepare to get sick. Clock that. Come on now, clarity. Yes. Bree said you need the hate choir. Now direct they butt out. Yes. And they gone. You gone. Never let someone show you twice how they felt about you the first time. Oh, come on now. Wait, let me put that back. Lauren, I'm going to be honest with you. I kept a lot of things and a lot of people around me in my aura based off of history. I tried to invite them into my world and invite them into my new place of where I was at and what it was that I was doing. Y'all got to know that I recognize when the evil eyes be around and all that other stuff. And that's why we pray. That's why we ask God to help us to be able to know and understand what it is that's going on around us. But just know and understand this. I peeped you. I seen you. And it'll never be the same. Bree said for them to choke on it. And I couldn't help but to agree. I have to take a quick break. When I come back, y'all, we got really, really intense. What would you do? I personally have my Copajn. I want you guys to also pour up the MzMetchi Show shot glass. It will be half filled. I'm not doing a double tonight. But I want y'all to stick around for this. This one is hard, you guys. This one is a really, really, really hard one. So go get your drinks. We'll be right back.
Be sure to shop Pretty Curvy Savage, where style meets comfort, and you can be bold and be fierce. This plus-size clothing line is everything that you need in your closet, ladies. So be sure to visit prettycurvysavage.com and use promo code MzMetchi10 for your special discount. Okay, bye. Hey, are you struggling with weight loss? Try everything and the scale hasn't moved for you? Well, I think it's time for you to call our good friends over at Live Long Health. They have everything that you need to help with weight loss management, and they also offer a plethora of other services. So make sure that you go ahead and head to livelonghealth.net, okay? Or call 708-998-5542, okay? And guess what? The best thing is you can treat yourself now and pay later. They accept several different payment types, And baby, it's time for you to go ahead and make that move to get healthy. So choose to live long with Live Long Health. Let's get into today's What Would You Do? Where we're talking about real situations with real people and offering real solutions.
Welcome back to the Blueprint Live with your girl, MzMetchi, and it's time for tonight's What Would You Do? If you haven't already, make sure that you are dropping those businesses in the comments, because remember, I'm here to connect with you and somebody needs what you have to offer, okay? I want you all to listen in. This one is going to require your full attention. I was at my boyfriend's house when I cut my finger while cooking. Not thinking, I went looking through his medicine cabinet for a Band-Aid. I found a Band-Aid, but I also saw a few medicine bottles that I ended up Googling. This MFer has HIV. I kept my cool because he wasn't home. He had gone to the gym. I thought about all of the sexual encounters and how we had been dating for several months without ever having any unprotected sex. Not a red flag, but it seemed fishy. Not only that, he seemed, he said that he doesn't like receiving oral, but he would be okay giving it to me. Hold on, I lost my damn thing. Okay, questionable. I was stopped in my tracks. I stopped cooking and I sat there waiting for him to get back home. When he walked in, I gave him the bottle of Big Tarby, and I know y'all have seen them commercials, baby. It's giving. And asked him what it was. He went off on me asking why I went through snooping around in his things. I showed him my cut and told him that I was simply looking for a Band-Aid after I cut myself. We sat down and he told me what happened to him and how and when it happened, but he reassured me that he was undetectable. He said that he didn't know how to tell me, and that's why he never put me at risk. But what if the condom happened? Anything could have happened. He said he hasn't had unprotected sex in over 7 years since he contracted the virus. After we talked, I got my things together and went home. He apologized for not telling me sooner, but the damage was already done. I went and got tested, and I'm negative. But what if, for the 7 months we've been together, and he deceived me by not being honest, okay? He wants to work things out, but right now I just need time to think this over. I'm eventually going to want children. And knowing this, I don't think I'll ever be comfortable enough to have unprotected sex with him. Oh, am I overreacting, or do I need to give it some time and potentially work it out with him? He's an awesome guy. What's up, Lauren? Cigars and success, baby. And just know we got some things. Lauren, we got to talk, baby, because we got some activations. Me and Bree already been talking. We finna be outside with the cigars. I need me a Tatiana Groovy Blue. Boop, boop, boop. What's up, Jocelyn? Thank you so much for tuning in, friend. Oh, it's been so long, sis. I love you. I hope you okay. Okay, Bree to tag everybody, okay? Be Unique Designs, Polite and Petty, Beautifully Scarred, Not Sacred, like I was saying earlier, because what the hell was wrong with me? Bluestone Capital Group and Cigars Success. Yes, thank you, sis. I love you guys. Oh, okay. Did y'all hear tonight's What Would You Do? Maybe I would have ran up out of that so fast and ran to the nearest clinic. Like, love. You can't just be out here with Victoria and not telling nobody. What? Okay, for everyone that's tuning in and you all just heard tonight's What Would You Do? Are we staying or going? We staying? What are we doing here? I'm not gonna lie. I would personally be very, very saddened and upset that that wasn't information or something that was shared beforehand. You can't just because my whole thing is, was he ever going to say anything? I don't think that I would, me personally, I wouldn't be able to do it. Now, it sounds like that he was a victim himself in terms of the fact that he contracted that, right? So, you know, I'm not here. We don't do victim blaming. We don't do anything like that. Like if you were the victim of something and you're trying to do it, then that's fine. I will say though, that there was definitely a different way that he could have, handled that, as far as in letting her know, like that's something you want to know up front. But sis, also, let me go ahead, let's clock this. You should have been asking for the my charts and different things beforehand. Even if it wasn't unprotected. If you're, me personally, like, I feel like if you're going to have a new sexual partner, nobody should have a problem with showing their results to show that it's the all clear, whether if you're having unprotected sex or not. Because it's like, baby, you're not going to come over here like, it's giving water, it's giving Lake Michigan. You're not going to come over here and taint it and be putting sewage water over here. We need to have a conversation. Okay? Yeah. We got to clock into that conversation. Let me get to the comments. Bree said, boom. Bree said, praying already. Yes. I mean, yeah, pray for her, because it's just like, baby, not the big Harvey. I would not be able to have sex with him under those circumstances. Honestly, the trust is completely gone. And I mean, I think that this is a situation where it may have been a little bit more digestible had he been upfront in the beginning of like, hey, I like you. I think you're beautiful. I want to date you, but this is what I have going on. Every week for the What Would You Do's, it's a common theme of either overly communicating or under communicating, right? Yeah. So you have to be upfront about things. Nobody wants to hear about something in the aftermath of things. Like, don't come and tell me something bad after I already have to find it out. That's the quickest way to tick me off. You have to be honest from the beginning and just say, hey, this is what I have going on. Give people a choice, because you'd be surprised. I mean, in hell, he would have known. He could have said it to her like, oh, well, you already dealt with somebody that had this going on. You want detectable? Let's go get tested. Let's do this. People may be a little bit more open to work with you, or a little bit more apt to it if you are honest from the beginning. But if somebody has to find out something and then approach you about it, you lose your footing as far as that's concerned. Because why did I have to do all of that? Why weren't you just honest from the beginning? The trust is gone. The trust is gone. He just, let's see, he didn't want to be standing where he is now. I agree with that. I agree with that. Bless your soul in ministry, but I'm 90% saved. It's come to Jesus time. Oh, wait, Bree, not you don't have to beat on him. Is that what you saying, friend? We can be a distant friends and no. Lisa in the building. What's up, Lisa? Thank you so much for tuning in with me. And let's see. So Lauren said, no one deserves to be robbed of their choice of the safety of their health. That part. That's the part for me. Kim, young lady, I'll give you a quick recap. Young lady was at her boyfriend's house. He was at the gym. She went to cook. She cut her finger. She went to go and look for a Band-Aid, found the Band-Aid and his Biktarvy HIV medication, finding out that he was HIV positive and he was undetectable, but he had contracted that particular disease. So she wanted to see, like, did she overreact, and should she give it some time and potentially work it out with him? As he did share his transparent story of what happened to him and how he contracted the illness in the first place. So, yeah. Respect can stay seated at the table if you talk and be upfront. Yeah. So, yes, Kim, that's exactly what's going on. I'm not lying to you. What's up? Lisa said, hey, girl, watched on YouTube, came over to Facebook. Come on, Lisa. We love Lisa. It was so good seeing you, too, at the brunch. I hope that you all will join me for the next one. I'll be dropping the dates. But yeah, what would you do? No, I don't think that you're overreacting. Look, I can say this as someone dealing with the things that I deal with, having stage 4 endo, all of these different things. Your womb, it is literally, it's the center of you, and you cannot play with it. Don't play with it. Don't play with it. Don't play with it. I'm not playing. Okay, so when it comes down to the health and just the overall the upkeep and just making sure that we are just safe and that we're healthy, you cannot play with a woman's womb like that. Anything that happens, it's a problematic. Okay, we're not doing that. So there's no judgment for the fact that he went through that, because again, it sounds like how this particular What Would You Do was posed, that he was a victim himself. And thank God for him knowing his status and wanting to keep her safe. But I think that the sequence of how everything happened was completely off. So sis, I don't think that you're overreacting. I don't. I do think that you're going to have to make some tough decisions, because I mean, there are people that have HIV that are able to go on and have long, healthy lives and marriages and children and everything, and no one is impacted by that particular disease. So you don't know. This is a situation where it's like, you're going to want to get a medical team involved and do different things if you see a future with this person, right? I don't know. Shantae. Oh, it seems like every day there's a new reason for women to get on PrEP if they are in the dating pool. Yeah. And I think the problem with this particular what would you do is that he just did not say anything until he was confronted. And then let me y'all know what men like to do. Oh, baby, don't call a man out on something when you didn't figure him out. Because what is he going to do? He's going to gaslight you. Why were you in my things? And why were you doing that? Why were you lying this entire time? They were together, she said, for 7 months. And he did not reveal his status. And then a man not liking, he didn't want you to go downtown. I mean, some people don't, right? But that would have been fishy to me anyway. I would have been immediately, pull up in my charts. Immediately. Pull it up. I want to see you log in. I want to know that that's tied to your social, my love. Pick it up. Take a picture. Because we're not about to do that. We're not doing any of that. No. But people going to jail for passing HIV. That part. And Kim said you have to protect your womb. Baby, when I tell you, when it comes to over here, I'm taking every precaution. No, I'm like, my womb already is attacking me from the inside. I'll be damned if I'm gonna let you do it from the outside. Come on now. We have to stop being we gotta stop doing that. Lisa says she's not overreacting, she wants to protect herself. Something like that, you have responsibilities to others. Absolutely. And Bree said we have to stop pouring sacred oil into crack cups and people get mad about the leak. A word. Bree, you better stop. That needs to be the quote of the night. I'm going to let you all continue to, y'all let me know how y'all feel about this one. And to wrap up tonight's What Would You Do? Because I know I done kept y'all for a while. We finna get up out of here. But sis, for tonight's What Would You Do? I don't think that you're overreacting. It's the trust factor for me. If he can keep something like that could be so impactful to you away from you, I worry about what the future could look like. Get away, stay away, and do things differently for your next partner. Right? You're going to want to know some things up front. Baby, we going to the clinic together. I made us some joint appointments. You finna come and get a little swab, get a little urine test, whatever it is that you need to do. We cannot put our wombs at risk, ladies. And I know, look, I listen to all the rappers and everything, and we talk about popping it and all that other stuff. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I'm gonna go and shake my ass this weekend. I gotta be honest, right? But when it comes to protecting myself and making sure that everything is okay, and I mean, I'm married, but I wasn't always married. I was a single woman at some point. Even then, we have to be extra, extra, extra cautious about our wombs and protecting our space. This is our temple. Our whole body is our temple, but the womb is the one where it's just like, if it's impacted in any type of way, it can cause major distress and problems. Don't introduce nothing to it that it does not need to be introduced to. Don't do that to yourself. It's just not right. Let me get into Shantae's comment. Some men really think that omission is different than lying. To me, deliberate omission is lying. Him keeping this a secret for months was him choosing to be deceitful. Shantae and Bree, y'all done dropped some gems tonight. Hold on. Let me just sip my little Copajn real quick. Because it's getting critical. Omission is definitely lying. And you don't tell me, nah. I equate that too. And you just put it so beautifully into words. Hold on, let me put it back up. Keeping things a secret, even if you don't say anything or acknowledge it, that is deceit for sure. For sure. For sure. Sis, protect your womb, girl. Get out of this situation. Like Tracy said, it can get bad where a person will kill you over it. Yeah. I mean, I know that that's probably, it may sound extreme, right? But this is what could happen. Lauren said first date at the clinic. Clock it. Coffee at the clinic. Come on now. Give me a little Starbucks and we can go and get our little swab, get our little blood test and things. What's up, Faye? Shout out to Black Dollar Days in the building. Those are just my thoughts. I don't think you're overreacting. And as far as giving it some time, sis, it's not going to change the status. So if you are absolutely not comfortable dating someone that has contracted that particular illness whatsoever, let it rest. But because you all had a 7-month relationship, I would just honestly, like, if it were me, let me just, what would I do? What would MzMetchi do? I would not continue to date him, strictly based off the fact that he did not, he wasn't honest. So I wouldn't date him just strictly off the simple fact that he withheld that information from me. And it was very pertinent because I was sharing my body with him. Okay. So I don't think that you're overreacting. I think that you need to overreact a little more. Okay. But to close out in a loving way, because and my best friend, she always get on me. She'd be like, you the one, and I'm the lover girl. I'm the one that's just like, oh my God, yeah, I love it. I would have an honest conversation with him about how he needs to conduct himself moving forward. Like, hey, I think you're a great guy. And I understand that this is very sensitive, but if you are going to deal with anyone, you're going to have to be honest about your status. And you need to come to the table with the game plan. You cannot do what you did to me to others. Whether if you're undetectable or not, I don't give a damn. You need to say something. You see something, say something. You take a big target. You need to mention that. You need to mention it. So have a conversation, be gracious about it. You don't have to be nasty. Hell, him having a something like that is already heavy. Don't make it heavier, right? But you're also not here to be on the other side of someone not being honest with you and putting you at risk. You never have to put yourself on the line or sacrifice yourself for others. May that stay with you all. And Lisa said it's affecting her mental health unhealthy. Yeah, I agree. Auntie said it's a wrap for you, baby. 7 months, 7 weeks, 7 seconds. It takes less than a minute for a slip up to happen. Agreed. You should have been honest. So I'm going to take a really quick break. And when we come back, we're going to be going into tonight's What's Happening, What's Up as we get ready to close out for the night. So you all stick around and we'll be right back.
Hey, are you struggling with weight loss? Try everything and the scale hasn't moved for you? Well, I think it's time for you to call our good friends over at Live Long Health. They have everything that you need to help with weight loss management, and they also offer a plethora of other services. So make sure that you go ahead and head to livelonghealth.net, okay? Or call 708-998-5542, okay? And guess what? The best thing is you can treat yourself now and pay later. They accept several different payment types, and baby, it's time for you to go ahead and make that move to get healthy. So choose to live long with Live Long Health.
Are you in need of a mobile bartender for your next event? Contact Paris Ice Bar today. From crafted cocktails, tapas and hookah, Paris Ice Bar has you covered. Visit ibringhappyhour.com or call 407-707-8202.
Time to get into what's happening and what's up in these streets. Let's get it.
Let's get it. It's time for what's happening, what's up out here in the streets. So look, all my Chicagoland folks, if you all ride the CTA, just letting you guys know this is released this week. CTA trains are not going to be running on the elevated tracks in the loop due to weekend maintenance. Now, I'll be honest, I've seen them shut down the ones that go, up in the air. Okay, I haven't seen it. So you all make sure that if you are commuting, I like to commute, but I haven't in a while. You all make sure that you keep up with all of those different closures and different things. Navigate your way in the city. Now, something else, I know that y'all know I try not to be too politically heavy, but there are just some things that I feel like that we need to talk about and we need to know. So you all know that currently Illinois right now, for my Illinois listeners, they are in the process. Lawmakers are discussing doing redistricting. I always mess that word up. They're going to be doing, like splitting up some things to kind of help with some of those electoral votes and all of those things when it comes to voting and all of that. So this is something that's been in progress. A lot of our representatives and people in Illinois, they've met privately to be able to discuss this, because you have Texas did it first, where they're just like, we're going to split it up and this is what we're going to do. They're trying to push the needle here. Okay, so this is something that we should all kind of keep an eye on. Let's keep an eye on that. Okay. As we get ready to head into the holiday season, y'all know I am like 2 seconds from wanting to put up my Christmas tree. Yeah, a fave for all of us, both young and old. Toys R Us is going to be opening 30 new stores ahead of the holidays. So y'all remember do y'all remember being kids? Okay, because I'm 37, but I remember being a kid and mom and dad coming with the Toys R Us catalog. Do y'all remember the Toys R Us catalog? Okay. And we would sit there, and my sister and I, I think mom would tell us, and it varied throughout the years. Now that I'm older, I understand why it varied, but they'd be like, pick 5 to 10 things. And then as the world started going into shambles, it's like, pick 1 to 5 things that you like. But we certainly, Toys R Us was definitely a big staple as far as for myself, my sister back then. And I was really saddened when they closed down. I'm like, what is going on? But now they are back and they're opening this up just in time for the holidays. So you all make sure that you keep an eye out for it. I'm excited to get some things from my nephews from there. I'm just like, let's go, Toys R Us. I'm so excited. Because now they're back. They're back. Now, why is everybody mad that Bad Bunny is going to be performing for the Super Bowl? Are you all mad that he speaks Spanish? Yeah. Well, there were rumors that were swirling around that they were going to drop Bad Bunny as the Super Bowl halftime headline for next year. Oh, no, honey. The NFL, they came out and they squashed all of those rumors, honey. Bad Bunny is performing and we're going to be up in that one. I can't wait. I'm gonna be shaking this thing. I love it. Lauren said Jeffrey was my favorite. Mine's too. Girl, I mean, it just did something to my spirit back then. And ain't nobody gonna be there at Toys R Us. Snap is a problem. You know what, Tracy? I know, but we gotta get the babies a little something. We gotta get the babies a little something. Because he's not Caucasian, honey. Yeah, they having a real problem with Bad Bunny being the headline. It's the problem. Now, Auntie Tracy, I'm so glad. Let me bring your comment back up. Where is she at? She said that Snap is the problem. Absolutely. Snap is definitely, it's an issue. And I mean, I've already been seeing videos and just different people that do have the SNAP benefits that are saying that they've already received notifications that those benefits aren't coming through for November. But let me tell you who is coming through, okay, this holiday season. There is 2 different businesses. Sam's Club. Sam's Club is offering a Thanksgiving feast that feeds up to 10 people for only $100, okay? It has sides, it has your meat, everything that you need, $100. Also, Aldi's, which y'all, I mean, I ain't gonna lie, y'all, I became an Aldi's girl over the last few years because groceries is expensive. But Aldi's is offering, I'm calling it the $40 holler, but they also have a similar meal deal to Sam's Club where you'll be able to get your meats, you'll get your sides, you'll get all of the things that you need to be able to prepare a meal. So for anyone that's tuning in, if you all know of any food drives or anything that I can share just with my network of people to be able to help those that are going to be in need. Because look, this is the thing, the babies can't go hungry. They can't go hungry. The adults can't go hungry. Okay. I had an experience a couple weeks ago. This was actually right before the brunch where the company that I work for, because y'all know MzMetchi is a corporatepreneur, I still go to work, but our company, we had an initiative called Core Giving. And we are, my company is located in different parts of the U.S. as well as internationally. But no matter where we were, this particular day we went and we volunteered to help those that were in need. And here in Chicago, we went to the Greater Chicago Food Depository, right off Lurie Avenue, to go and to pack boxes for families that were in need. And I was on Team Rice. We packed up rice that was going in boxes and going out to different families in need. And overall, our initiative company-wide, we were able to help 1 million people get boxes of food, over to them. And I feel like I've been tasked, because of course I made a reel about it, but I shared it with my network, and they're just like, when are we going back to volunteer? And I'm like, well, let me reach out to them and see what's going on. So, if anyone is interested in, all us just going together, just tribing up, getting out there to help out. This helps a lot of people. Food insecurity is something that is going on around us, and you may not even know it. Y'all got that coworker or somebody that comes in and they never have food. They may actually be hungry. It may be a lot of things. That pizza party that we all complain about, if you got groceries in your house, may be the only thing that they're eating that day. Or they may be sacrificing to make sure that those babies eat. Funny thing, it's like the government, they're having all of this stuff and they want to push to expand families. And I'm like, baby, we can't afford it. As much as I want kids, I'm just like, it's hard living with just adults at this point. Let's give back how we can. So shout out to Sam's Club and to Aldi's for providing those meal deals for people that are in need. If you see somebody, that's fine. If you at the store and you see a mom, I think one of the craziest things, and I saw it, what was that family? I know that was Dollar General. Taking baby stuff. Just walked out the store. They're like, hey. They like kept walking. We're not interfering. I'm not helping you identify nothing. Stuff costs too much. People are going through things. Let them have it. So shout out to them for doing that. We're doing a non-perishable donation drive Saturday while we're at St. Mark. Okay, that's great to know. We're going to bring some peaches, some rice, all of that. Faye said a lot of hungry people in this country already, and now the orange idiot and his minions don't care if people starve and have no medical insurance. Yeah, they're not even paying the folks. They're not even paying them. Like, it's too much going on. So, shout out to the companies that are, locking in and they want to help people. Now, this next story, did y'all know that they found some mosquitoes in Iceland for the first time ever? And currently, Antarctica is the only place on Earth that does not have any mosquitoes. Y'all know why this is, right? Global warming. Clock that, honey, because it's too much going on. And last but not least, Walmart stay in the news, honey, but they are currently halting job offers for applicants who need an H-1B visa due to Trump raising the fees in order for them to be able to let them work. I don't know exactly what's going on. And I know you all saw with Trump that they took down on the east wing of the White House. They're now building a big, now over $300 million ballroom. And there are families that cannot eat. There are people that have not gotten paid. There are people that cannot begin to work or do anything because they can't even finish the application process. These are all things that we need to keep an eye on, because even if it does not impact you right now, it doesn't mean that it can't impact someone that is close to you, or that it cannot be you within the blink of an eye. So please keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. I will take one quick break, and then we're going to close out with the topic of the night and get on up out of here, because baby, MzMetchi hungry. Are y'all hungry? Because I'm hungry. Be right back.
Hey, y'all, it's your girl, MzMetchi, checking in, reminding you to shop my exclusive collection, Lavish Looks by MzMetchi, where we've got shades and everything that you need to look fly. Oh, and we also offer accessories. So ladies, put a little bit of razzle dazzle in your collection today. Be sure to shop with me and follow on social media at Lavish Looks by MzMetchi. Grab your products today at MzMetchi.com/shop.
Are you in need of a mobile bartender for your next event? Contact Paris Ice Bar today. From crafted cocktails, tapas and hookah, Paris Ice Bar has you covered. Visit ibringhappyhour.com or call 407-707-8202.
Now it's time for the Blueprint Live's topic of the day. Let's get into it.
Welcome back to the Blueprint Live. It's your girl, MzMetchi. Now, look, I'm going to keep this real brief, but it's just something that, of course, I'm excited about. Now, you all know the last time I was with you, we kind of talked about the lead up to the LinkedIn Lit brunch. And tonight, of course, it would just only be befitting to do the recap. I just need to tell y'all this. The LinkedIn Lit brunch, this whole concept, and especially the one that just happened October 11th, it was a vibe. It was beautiful. Better than I could have imagined. And a lot of connections were made. A lot of people are working together. I mean, a few of my vendors that were there were already tapped on to do different activations with some of the other people that were in the room. So it was a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful occasion. And I'm so thankful for everyone that joined me. Again, I was telling you all earlier about Bree and her team and just everyone that was, that decided to partner with me to make it a true success. I really want to just shout out to all of my sponsors and my partners, because, when you're putting together something like the LinkedIn Lit brunch, this is, it can be a big thing. And this time I was blessed to have over 30 partners, between partners, vendors, sponsors, so that was 30 different relationships, 30 different conversations, 30 plus. And it was, a lot to kind of get everybody to, you have to share your vision and then you got to get everybody on the same page and do all of that. But I was just very, very blessed to be in alignment with some amazing people. Some of them, some of my people, I've worked with them for years. Some were a little bit newer, and this was our first time kind of working, and it worked out. So I'm very, very thankful. I'm so excited to be able to not only work with them again, but to also plan some future activations. I mean, Bree is on the live with us tonight, and we were just talking about like some outdoor stuff, just like all of the things that we want to do, and really coming together and showing people the power of collaboration. So I'm just, I am very, very thankful for that. And I'll say this, something that really stood out to me and everything was just the feedback that I got afterwards from people that were attendees, as well as people that directly worked the event, just how it made them feel. Let me tell you all this, and I shared this a little bit before the event. I have been doing a lot of things on my own and by myself since I started the media aspect of my business in 2019. And it gets lonely, right? I've been to events where it was like I was invited, but I wasn't welcomed. I would go and everybody's clicked up, and there wasn't really like that camaraderie or the different things that was promised with the ticket price. It just wasn't. It wasn't. And being in my shoes, I always understood what it was like to feel a little bit unseen, to be in the room. And sometimes, the room might be so big and you feel a little small. Like I know what it was like. And when the vision came to me, it was actually towards the end of last year that I knew that, I had done networking events before COVID, but COVID definitely kind of took a little bit of that fire that I had as far as wanting to do it again, or even wanting to do it on a larger scale. I used to do the more micro ones where it would be about 15 to 20 people, because I felt like that, again, here I was limiting myself. But when the vision came to me as far as doing it on a bigger scale and the opportunities and the doors lined up, I knew that it was time to take it to the next level. And that it was time for me to step outside of fear to actually do it and to provide the space that I was looking for. Because I had gone to so many different events and so many different spaces where people would not even talk to me. Like I would go and I've got a bubbly personality. So, oh my God, And they're just kind of like, girl, if you don't get your ass away from my table. And I'm like, oh, my bad. I knew what it was like to be there. And I knew that I wanted to cultivate a space that no matter who you were, whether you showed up with yourself or you showed up with your tribe, that you were going to be loved on, you were going to be supported, you were going to be able to walk away with different connections and different opportunities that was going to further what you had going on, and not doing it to break the bank. You're not breaking the bank. I see people, they charging $100 for the tickets and $150 to $200 for the vendor tables and doing all that other stuff. And I'm just like this. I know some dope people and I want them to make some money and I want them to be able to have a good time and enjoy themselves. And that was the vision. And it happened for us. I felt like it was a collective effort. Although I was the host, I was the curator for this experience. Bringing it all together and bringing all of those people, it was truly a blessing. And it's not just an event. For me, it's a movement in terms of the power of collaboration and connecting with one another. That's what it's all about. So, my favorite moments were being able to actually interact this time. The first time I was so hell-bent on making sure that everybody else had a good experience that although I had spent all that time putting it together, I didn't even really, mentally and emotionally, I wasn't there. But my goal was always to make sure that my people had a good time, that my guests had a good time, that my sponsors were highlighted, that everybody and every partner was highlighted and that they had a good time. And this last time, I was able to have. That's the memory for me. I was able to talk to everyone that came in the room. Everybody. And we don't do the mean girl energy. I had a couple people that tried to come in and they tried to come and drop that nasty energy. And oh my God, when they left out, it was like you could see the sun again. Because we don't do mean girl energy. We don't sit up and talk about folks. If you're shaking ass and you're having a good time, that's what you're doing. If you're drinking and you have a little bit, whatever, are you safe? I wanted to provide a place where there was no judgment. And no one was looking at you like you were crazy because you were enjoying yourself. But you were able to walk away with the things that you needed. That's what it was all about. So, Bree, she said, yes, indeed. Latifah was with me, my girl. Latifah, I love you. And I just want to let you know, you are just a beam of light and energy for sure. She said it was one for the book. Everything was amazing and lit. And, look, Latifah, again, there's power in connecting. Latifah and I, we had connected with each other. And he's talking about put a name on it. Get your butt, Anthony, you need to go. You need to finish what you're doing immediately. Not only I got housewives energy. I'm not mad at it, but tonight I sit here with you all with my cut water. It's the lemon drop. Do y'all see it? But no, I sit here and I'm celebrating. I've been celebrating just the impact of it. Shout out to all the media that was in the room and everybody that came out to celebrate with me. Just every person that was in that room was supposed to be there. Every person that didn't come to that room, they weren't supposed to be there. And that's okay. That's okay. Messy child. That man, he being messy tonight. So that's all that I have on that. You all let me know what you all are thinking. I think I'm not going to hit y'all with a commercial because I know we've been here for a while. But, it's time to, of course, hop into our quote of the night. So
thank you so much for all of my listeners for tuning in. And now it's time for the quote of the night.
Tonight's quote of the night found me, and I love when it finds me. And it touches on what I was speaking about in my Hate It and Love It, as far as like this particular LinkedIn Lit brunch showed me that I was pouring a little bit too much and not getting enough back. So tonight's quote is dedicated to that. And again, it found me. So I'm just sharing it with you. Before God elevates you, he's going to show you everybody's heart around you. So you will know who to take with you and who to love from a distance. Once you have entered into your promised land. Elevation has always required separation, and it always will. Know that everybody can't go. Funny that my best friend was the one that said that earlier in the show. She put that when we were talking about the hate and the love it. But God is elevating a lot of different things. And I'm thankful for everyone that genuinely supports, and not just to supports to see, is this girl going to actually make it? When we're on television and when we are going, and honey, we're on the private jets and we're being chauffeured around and we are living the life as the stars that we are. I only want to look to my left and to my right and recognize that it was people that not only was with me from the beginning, but they believed in me and they believed in the vision. Because let me tell you one thing, my friend, I just told my best friend this week, I said, Kim G, baby, if you were selling Bedazzled Q-tips, I would be doing reels and videos to promote your business because I love you and I support you. But where God is about to get ready to take a lot of us, everybody can't go. And I need you all to hear this because we are getting so close to the end of the year. Okay? Where it's always that time, it's like, who do I let go? Me, I'll cut your ass off in July. I don't care. I don't wait to the end of the year to clear house. Right? No need for that. But as we get ready to transition into a new year, with all of these different things that we got going on, they ain't got no SNAP benefits. We got to do $40, $100 hollers. It's tough, okay? It's tough out here. Hold on to the people that hold on to you. And as you elevate, you will know who needs to be held on to because they're going to love on you and help push you to your next place where you need to be. And that's just the word that I want to leave y'all with. I'm sick and I'm extremely grateful. I needed to take some time off. Y'all know last week I had my procedure. It's no secret. I had surgery last Wednesday, so I was not able to do that. And I mean, it's just endometriosis. I'm tired of it, y'all. I'm tired. But the people that are in my life right now, new and old, I'm so thankful for y'all. I am. And as we continue to elevate, I'm thankful that we can do it together, that we can support each other. I want to thank my very special guest for coming on tonight, Yolanda Carter from Beautifully Scarred. I am just, y'all know as a host, sometimes I be having to hold myself together. Her story, I had not heard it as raw as it was on tonight's show. And I'm sending my love to her. She's reached her promised land. And here she is giving back and helping other folks. May people like Yolanda continue to serve as a reminder that no matter whatever it is that you've been through, as traumatic as it can be, that there's life on the other side, and to go back and to grab those people that's behind because they need you to. They need you to. I'm coming back next week. I'm super excited. We'll be able to get our Halloween on. We're getting our Halloween on. I don't know. I might be dressed up. I don't know. I'm going to clock it and I'm going to let y'all know what's going on. But I'm super excited. And I thank you all so much for just tuning in with me. And let me get into these last comments before we close out. Latifah said, I see more big things and doors open with great opportunities. Keep being humble and watch it. No stopping you. Latifah, I love you. And I appreciate that kind word. And just know we grinding out here. And please know that when it reaches the major platforms that we have our big party, I want you right there with me because I want my day ones. I want my people that's been rocking with me for real. Like Latifah, I did not know Latifah like that. Latifah come on here every Thursday. And I know she be with them babies. She be doing what she got to do. Latifah come every week. I love you, sis. Thank you for your support. And you let me know how we can support you too. Okay. Bree said that part, the air is thinner at the top. Baby, but we could breathe up here. It's the fresh air for me. You know? Yeah. If your circle ain't pushing and elevating you, it's a chewing gum circle. If Bree don't come out with some tweets, baby, you tweeting tonight. I love y'all. And look, until next time, Y'all make sure y'all come back and see me. Same time, same place. Yolanda Carter, thank you so much for joining me tonight. And I look forward to joining you this Saturday to support you. And I know the tickets is $7. Y'all better come with y'all 10. I'm putting a challenge out for my supporters. Y'all better not show up with that $7 and be trying to get y'all $3 back. Don't be cheap. Don't be petty. Don't be that. Give your $10. Bring them babies out. Let's play a little bingo. Let's get a little competitive. I love y'all. Until next time. Bye.
Thank you for tuning into the Blueprint Live. I'm your girl, MzMetchi. Make sure that you're following me on all platforms at MzMetchi and at the BP Media Co. See y'all next week. Okay, bye.